If you're deciding between Dana Point and Laguna Niguel, the real decision comes down to this. Do you want to live inside a true coastal harbor town, or do you want to live next to it, close enough to enjoy it anytime, but with an everyday routine that's smoother and often more flexible? Dana Point is harbor-centered, ocean-facing, and lifestyle-driven. In the right pockets, it feels unmistakably coastal and local. Laguna Niguel is coastal adjacent, more routine friendly, with broader housing options and easier day-to-day access. And the third difference that matters more than people expect is how each market behaves when conditions shift, because buyer demand and leverage don't move in the same way in these two cities. In real life, Dana Point fits buyers who want the daily experience of being in a coastal town. You're drawn to the harbor energy, the ocean air, the proximity to the beach walks and viewpoints, and that real coastal weekend feeling, even on a Tuesday. For the right person, it's incredible because the lifestyle is the reward. But it's also a city where you're often accepting trade-offs in exchange for that reward. Laguna Niguel tends to attract buyers who want coastal living to feel calm and sustainable. You're close enough to enjoy Dana Point often, Laguna Beach often, and the coastline often. But your weekday is usually easier. Errands tend to be simpler, parking tends to be easier, freeway access is often more predictable, and you still get that outdoor living woven into your daily routine. From a seller standpoint, Dana Point usually attracts a high motivated buyer pool shopping for a specific lifestyle. Harbor proximity, ocean view corridors, walkability to certain areas, or a particular neighborhood feel. When a property hits the combination of location, condition, and a story, it can command strong premiums, but it can also be more sensitive if something is off. Micro-locations, noise, slope, layout, or condition. Laguna Niguel tends to draw a broader mix of relocation and move-up buyers, often which creates more consistent activity when the home shows well and is priced accurately. Here's what I see buyers run into all the time. Many people fall in love with Dana Point online. Then they tour in person and experience the realities. Coastal traffic patterns, weekend surges near the harbor, and what certain streets feel like during events or peak season. Some still choose it, and it's absolutely the right decision for them. Others realize that they want to visit Dana Point twice a week, not build their entire routine around the coastal flow. Another thing I hear consistently is, I want ocean views, when the buyer really means is, I want that coastal feeling. For many people, Laguna Niguel delivers that feeling more consistently in everyday life, especially in the view-oriented neighborhoods, while still giving easy access to Dana Point whenever they want it. And sellers in Laguna Niguel are often surprised by how many buyers are comparing them directly to Dana Point, Laguna Beach, and other coastal adjacent options. Buyers aren't shopping by city name alone. They're shopping by feel, drive time, layout, views, and how their weekends will actually look. Now let's talk housing and neighborhood character, because this is where the difference really becomes very clear. Dana Point is a mix of coastal neighborhoods, bluff and view properties, harbor close living, and areas that can feel distinctly beach town. You'll see everything from older coastal homes to remodeled properties to highly upgraded communities, and the variability can be dramatic from one street to the next. Some areas feel walk and go, while others are more car dependent. HOA versus non-HOA also varies widely between neighborhoods, and it matters. Laguna Niguel offers more variety by design. You have condos and townhomes that can be a great, strong entry point. You have single-family neighborhoods with consistent streets and character. You have view corridors and topography that create a real wow factor without the same right-on-the-beach constraints. HOAs are more common, but they range widely in style and impact, and Mello-Roos is something to evaluate case by case. For out-of-area buyers, the key difference is simple. In Dana Point, you're often paying for the proximity to the water and the coastal lifestyle first, and square footage second. In Laguna Niguel, you're often balancing location, functionality, resale strength, which can translate into more comfortable day-to-day home. Value tends to follow that same logic. At entry-level coastal budget, Dana Point buyers are usually prioritizing being in the city, often accepting smaller size, older condition, or compromises to stay coastal. In Laguna Niguel, buyers at that same level typically have more options in layout, parking, and daily practicality. At mid-range budgets, Dana Point often means choosing the coastal lifestyle with trade-offs: lot configuration, road noise, slope, or how the neighborhood functions day to day. While in Laguna Niguel, buyers can often secure better flow, easier access, and sometimes views that deliver the coastal experience that they're after. At higher budgets, Dana Point becomes extremely property specific. One street, one view line, or one pocket near the water can change everything. Laguna Niguel at the higher end tends to offer the reward of view, privacy, and turnkey condition, while still benefiting from smoother access and a broader buyer pool. Access and community matter more than people expect. Dana Point is heavily influenced by PCH and coastal arteries and drive times that can change depending upon the weekends and events and the season, especially around the harbor and beach zones. Laguna Niguel is built for flow with easier access to major routes and more predictability, daily rhythm, especially for buyers that are commuting towards Irvine or nearby business corridors. Airport access seems workable for both, but Laguna Niguel often feels more predictable simply because you're not dependent on coastal corridors for daily movement. Lifestyle is where I want to be very fair to Dana Point. Dana Point has an energy that's hard to replicate. The harbor, the oceanfront setting, the date night options, the coastal walking, and the boating and water culture. In many parts of Dana Point, you truly can touch the coast as part of your normal life. In Laguna Niguel, lifestyle is more live here driven. Your favorite places and errands are easier to reach without planning around visitor patterns, and you still have easy access to Dana Point and Laguna Beach whenever you want that destination experience. Outdoor life is strong in both, but it's different. Dana Point focuses on harbor life, beach access, coastal viewpoints, and ocean-oriented outdoor time. Laguna Niguel emphasizes open space, trails and parks that are easy to access daily. For many buyers, Laguna Niguel provides a calmer baseline, while Dana Point becomes the highlight destination you can enjoy anytime, especially if you don't need to live in the middle of it. Ownership reality matters as well. Dana Point often involves more coastal variables: salt air exposure, bluffs or hillside positioning in certain areas, older construction in some pockets, and insurance considerations that deserve careful attention and review. None of this is negative, but it does require smart due diligence. Laguna Niguel can still include hills and open space nearby, but ownership tends to be more straightforward overall. And finally, market behavior is a real separator. Dana Point can be extremely competitive when home checks the right boxes, especially when it delivers the coastal lifestyle in a clean turnkey way. But it can also be more sensitive to micro locations and property specifics. Laguna Niguel tends to benefit from a broader demand, creating more consistent activity in desirable segments. Seller strategy differs too. Dana Point requires precise positioning and a strong story tied to lifestyle. Laguna Niguel rewards strong presentation and price accuracy with consistent traction from a wide pool of qualified buyers. So how do you decide? If you want to live inside a coastal harbor town, Dana Point may be your fit. If you want everyday ease with coastal access, Laguna Niguel stands out. If you value being closer to the water as part of your daily life, and you're comfortable with the coastal patterns, Dana Point works. If you value comfort, variety, and long-term market strength with coastal proximity, Laguna Niguel delivers. Market conditions change. Reach out for the latest numbers. I'm Randy Orr with Berkshire Hathaway, changing lives one home at a time.